All right. Third time's the charm. Apparently, they don't want me saying nothing today. Oh, man. Let me tell you guys. All right, let's see. Give it a second here. Maybe everybody got scared away. They're like, we can't trust it now. That was crazy. All right. Looks like it's going. There we go. All right. I promise you this is the good one. Hopefully this one will stick. So check it out. So I got a new service and it's not really as good as it's faster, but it's not as good. And then I don't know, I went on YouTube and hit the live from there. Normally I just go to StreamYard and YouTube was like, nah. So we should be good this time. Yeah, we stand on this one. I ain't touching nothing, and hopefully my signal doesn't drop out, so we should be good. Give everybody a minute to get in here. Class is in session. All right, so one of the things before I get started on some more information is so I got my little letters back from the IRS here. And this is in concerns to the IP PIN. Okay, so if you don't know what the IP PIN is, it is Form 15227. And this can also be done on the My E-Verify. And it is to lock your social. Okay. If you lock your social, no one is supposed to be able to have access to you're accessing your Sesticate trust. Your social, your IRS number and whatever else it is attached to. So when you fill out that form, you want to make sure that you give them a phone number, your cell phone number, so that when they call, they're going to make 2 attempts. And when they call, you got to answer a few questions, and then from there, they will set you up with the private PIN, and only you and whoever has that PIN can access your Social Security credit for discharging and whatever else. So, all right. So once again, I apologize for the delay and the whatever the heck happened with the service falling out, but we should be good. Okay, I'm looking at it through YouTube now, so there's a little bit of a delay, but they said the connection's good. All right. I am Max Headroom. Yeah. Oh, this is weird. All right. All right. Yeah, this is the start over, Carissa. Yep. This is the actual party now. All right. So once again, where's everybody chiming in from? What state, republic are you guys hailing from? Drop that in the comments. Tell me how your day's going, and then we'll jump into it. So remember, the majority of this live is going to be for driver's license surrender. If you guys have done it in your state, and then if you want to share what form you're using, what your process was, if you have something where it's complicated. So we're about to get everybody on the same page. Okay, so we got Texas, Indiana, Georgia, Republic of Michigan. Rover Man's from CA. Oh, that's the belly of the beast right there, Pippin. Republic of Kansas. All right, all right. We're all family here, so feel free to send a shout out and say what's up to whoever. This definitely was not a planned live. I was just like, all right, I'm going to just go. Normally I've got it all set up, so I apologize for that. I'm going to give a couple more minutes, let people get in here, and then we're just going to start breaking it down. So today what we want to kind of do, I kind of broke the ice with the other video when I was talking about the surrender of the driver's license on part 1. And so people want me to cover a little bit of that information. And then I had a couple other people send me their states. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 states. And we're going to go over those. So one of the things I learned, okay, Chris is in the process now. Okay, Lori's talking about going down to Mexico. Looks like trying to do right to travel. That's a new one. Forrest, you're a good man. We'll appreciate you. I see you out there. Louisiana, Healing Goddess. Too much chat, not enough info. We're getting there. We're just trying to make sure we get some people in the house before we get it rolling. So yeah, doing it down in Mexico. Well, if you have your plates made and you are your own nation, Mexico really shouldn't care too much. They might not be familiar with it. But you are your own nation. It's all the states are their own nations. So there shouldn't really be a problem as long as you have a plate where you're declaring that you're from a nation, versus the ones that just have private on there might not work. They may not like that too much. Sandy says, when I hit your join button, it says I need to be in the same country. Then it won't let me pay. Huh. I don't know. No one's ever said that problem. I would just say maybe try it again. Try it from a different browser and see what happens. Ignorant Border Patrol. Yeah, if they give you a problem at the border, okay, then ask to speak to their boss. Say, who's your boss? I need to speak to somebody who can understand that I'm a private micronation operating under the Constitution. Okay, or you're your own, just a private nation in general. So private said, you are your own nation. Please explain. Okay, so if you look up the definition of a state or a nation, it's pretty simple. It just means that a group of people or a person operating underneath their own authority or a foreign authority. Well, our last name, your last name is a nation. You don't all of your family doesn't have to be in the same house or in the same state for you to declare that your last name is a nation. You might be a nation of one. Okay, you can add your cats and dogs and kids or whoever else, but your last name is a nation. Think about it. Okay, if you didn't know this, we're all Native Americans if you were born here. So by being born here, that makes you native to this land. Now you may not be indigenous, okay, but you are native. All right. So your last name is nothing more than a tribe of people that you've never claimed it. All right. Well, you create your own micronation, you get it, you notarize it, though you don't technically have to, but it's good, it doesn't hurt. And like for me, on my plates, I have the nation of Levitica, and then I've got my other information on the plate because my last name, Lovett, is a nation. A nation is nothing more than a group of people who are like-minded or operating underneath the same banner. So for us, it's Lovett. All right. So And there's no law that says you can't create your own micronation. There's thousands of micronations around the world. A lot of them may not be recognized by the big boys, but once again, that's also why, like, I got recognized by another micronation here in the United States. And then I formed a recognition with Ladonia, just to basically say, hey, you know, because I'm also a citizen of Ladonia as well. I also did a FOIA after locking my SIN, just waiting on them to send in my FOIA so I can get my passport. Yeah, the government, yeah, they can go past your PIN, you know, they don't care. But it's just all of the other corporations out there who are using your SSN and your trust behind your back. Yeah, saying it says, right, I checked my phone settings, weird. Yeah, I've never had anybody have any problems with that. So I do know that my channel might be registered as foreign, so that could be it, but I've never had anybody actually say they had any problems with joining. Problems with finding the join button, which if you want to join the Wolf Pack, that's just going to the main YouTube site for James C. Lovett. And then it should be a blue and white button that says join. I know YouTube just opened up the handles where you can now go youtube.com/@ and then the bad wolf all together. And you can use that to get to my channel now as well. All right. So we got about 37 people in here. This wasn't going to be like a major live or anything. So we're going to jump into it. And then after I'm done, I'll try to field some questions. So what I want you guys to do, anybody watching, feel free to jump into the comment section and put what form you used to do right to travel and surrender your license. If you did, I'm not saying everybody should. I'm not even saying anybody should. But if you feel it's necessary for what you're doing or where you're at, and you have studied all of the right to travel information, including going on blacksite32.com and looking at the video marked Right to Travel by Jackie Figg, JACKIE FIGG. You can also look her up on YouTube. She's got the good video is 52 minutes and 48 seconds. It's definitely worth doing. So I highly recommend everybody understanding that you're operating under the Constitution, but there's still contracts that you have to close out before doing right to travel. All right. Don't just whip off your plate, put a new one on, and go down the road because you still got stuff attached to them. What do you send if your state doesn't list a form? Exactly. That's what we're getting to right now. So that's one of the reasons why, like, if you guys have done it in your state, in the comments, put the name of the form number, and if you had any problems and how you got around them. All right. And then Faith says, don't see a join button. Usually it's a blue button next to the subscribe button. If you've already joined, you won't see the button. But when you go to the main page, that's how you see it'll say member videos only for those who have subscribed. If you haven't and you don't see it, try logging in with a different browser or from a different device. Sometimes the browsers act funny when it comes to that. A layman is a person in church, not a clergy. And of course, all American favorites, common persons. Okay. All right. So what do you do if the state doesn't list the form? All right. That's also like Wisconsin, and there's a couple other ones that don't list it. All right. So most of them don't want to list the form because they don't want us to do this. They want to wait until we're like 80, 70, 80, or 90 and just say, well, here's your surrender form. You can no longer drive with your old butt. Which today was the first day I actually thought about that. Oh my God, like eventually, like we're actually going to get old and we might not be able to operate our vehicles. That's kind of horrifying. I guess Uber everywhere at that point in time. All right. So if your state doesn't list it, don't freak out. It's there. If they don't list it, here's what you're going to do first. If this doesn't work, then you can go to Black Site 32. Patrick McCann from Ireland. Hey, how's it going? The worst case scenario is you go to Black Site 32, and I think for like $50, I've got my file, which is a little bit more aggressive at forcing them to close it. You would send that particular file to the headquarters of the DMV, so not your local, but the headquarters, okay? If you don't get my file, your option you can do before that is to create your own file and just merely request that you want to close the file and cancel the registration and everything they have on you, okay? If that doesn't work or they give you pushback, then you can get mine because, like I said, it's a little bit more aggressive for those tough states. Now, your first option over here to get the form is you're going to walk into your local DMV, okay? So walk into your local DMV and you're going to talk to the person behind the counter. You're going to say, hey, for instance, one of the things you can say is, I'm moving out of state and I need to close my account and my registration. By closing your account, your registration, surrendering your driver's license card, and giving them back the plates, try to get a receipt if you can. Now, if the person goes, well, I don't know what you're talking about, or we don't have that form, every one of them have a move out of state form. Normally what we do is when we go in there, we say, hey, I want to cancel my my license. Most of them don't know what that is. Or we'll say, do you have the surrender of driver's license privilege form? Okay. Those are what you're going to want to ask for. And if they say they don't understand or they don't have it, ask for a supervisor. It just means I had one lady say she'd been there 16 years. She had never heard of that form. But then another person came out of the back who overheard it and is like, yeah, I know what form you're talking about. So talk to and ask for the manager in private. Say, hey, I need to speak to the manager privately then, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What happens if you let the registration just expire? That does not pull you out of the system. Your account just is in a pending status and you're still driving with a expired registration. You have to use a surrender form. Otherwise, it's just pending. Yep. Ultra, this live will be on YouTube later. I always upload them right to YouTube and keep it there. Okay, so Cash says in California, the form is DL-142, which, yes, that matches what I got. So that was one of the ones I was going to talk about. Their form in California is called a request for cancellation or surrender of driver's license. That's what their form is. So the number is DL-142. All right. So you want to talk to the manager. Not all of the, and no offense to the people in those positions, but usually they don't know. They've never used them. Nobody in their right mind, because remember, we're all crazy here. This is just education and entertainment. Nobody in their right mind goes, I want to cancel mine at the age of whatever. Okay. Well, like when I talked to the DMV here, he's like, well, you do understand. And I talked to the CFO or the CEO or the head commissioner guy. Well, you do realize that you will never be able to drive again in the state. I was like, that's fine. You're right. I will never drive again. Nope, not for the corporation. But remember, you can also get one from the DOT. What is it? The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Right from the federal government, you can get one. Fill out the application. The last option says private travel. Bang. All right. Ultra said they were sad when I surrendered mine. Yeah, because do you know how much money you just took out of their system? Just in you? Yeah. See, they make money off of the actual ID. They make money off of the account, and they make money off of you being in their system to give tickets to. So, of course, they're going to be sad. They're going to be like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? I don't know. You seem so young. You're never going to drive again. But let me introduce you to the Constitution. Now, I'm not saying that right to travel is for everybody. A lot of people don't even know about this. You can get a UN license. Okay, I will look that up, make a video on it. UN license. I mean, that is also the belly of the beast, or so some people say, but that's interesting. Faith said, I bet they were said, yeah, you just took all the money out their pocket. I'd be mad too. I got a stack of cash and a future stack of cash right here. You walk in and take all the marbles, take your ball and go home. Monopoly's over. You flip the board. Okay, what else do we got? Lori says, looks like Pennsylvania is DL 100. All right. Okay, I can't verify that one. I just did some light search on the DMV and PA, and I found a form called the MV-6 for a non-revocable something. So that might be it. So in PA, look up DL 100. Otherwise, it might be the MV-6. The games they play, yes. Yep, traffic court. Sovereign Living has some videos on it. Yep. Oh boy, looks like we got hold on, we got a bot in here, looks like. All right, they've been bounced. Okay, Lori says she's looking right at it. All right. Yeah, Cash, I just caught the troll or the bot. If you've got a commercial license and you do truck or okay, mass, I see you. I'll get the mass in 1 second. I've got that one. If you've got a truck or you use your personal vehicle with Uber, you can't do right to travel. You can only do right to travel in your personal vehicle. I believe the Department of Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, you can get a commercial license through them versus in the state. Educational information only. But if you're using the roads for profit to make money, it's just considered commercial. We've been trying to look and see if there's a workaround for the private version, but I haven't gotten there yet. So we'll see about it. But as Americans, our rules are that if you use our roads for profit, you have to pay us. So that's why they have the licenses. But as an American, and these are our roads, I would think we should be able to use them for our personal labor without having to go through them. So I'm not sure on that, but do the research. And if you find that out, let me know. Kakoya TV said, Texas is the DL 174. You guys are fire. Awesome, man. I appreciate you guys. This is so much work that you guys are helping me out with. All right. So Massachusetts, I didn't get the file number, but the name is the License and ID Cancellation Request Form. So Massachusetts is License and ID Cancellation Request Form. So if you go in there, that's what you're going to ask for. Blue Sky, any law that violates the Constitution, null and void. Yes. Now, remember, when they're phrasing these things, they're talking about it from two different perspectives. So it does, if it violates the Constitution for us Americans who are, or nationals operating the private, it is a violation. For them as willing participants or U.S. citizens, okay, operating under the 14th Amendment, corporations, trustees, they have to be a part of that. Okay, so it doesn't violate their constitution if you're in there willingly. Okay. Have you heard of people using the DOT number on their vehicles? Oh yeah, that was like that was like the 50th video I think I made back in the day. Yeah, people use the DOT for their personal vehicles. On the commercial side and through the Federal Motor Carrier Consumer, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Cookie says Tennessee. I don't have that one. Blue Sky, Marbury versus Madison. Yep. All right. So yeah, Rick Smith says free, no cost online. Yes, I believe in the Holy Spirit. Brother Geo. Okay, what else we got here? Yeah, Rick Smith said federal FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Oh, yeah, I had it right. Okay, thank you. Revolution is high. I'm in England, Britain, and I'm getting a motorbike next year and deregistering and traveling on the public highways without a license. F the laws, I didn't make them. Well, I'm not sure about how they move over there, because obviously the king now, that is literally their property. But I would assume you could probably, if they bother you, you're private. I mean, so the FMCSA, it starts off with commercial options, and then the last option in the box will either say other or it'll say private travel. That's what you want to click. They're not going to make this easy for you guys. I'm telling you, everybody who has doubted me has gotten their chops busted, because your remedies are always going to be in the word other or private travel, or attach a affidavit or some kind of letter as to why you can do this. They don't make money when you do it free. The United States Corporation is a for-profit company, and they're offering benefits and privileges and licenses. So, yeah, America is still under the crown property. Yeah, to a degree. They're in bed together. We would know instantly if we were completely owned by them, because the Constitution would have been burned in front of us on TV, and you'd see a whole bunch of these people dancing in the streets in Washington, D.C. So we're not completely owned by them. The United States Corporation is. America is in bed with them a little uncomfortably, like on some second cousin kind of stuff, maybe third cousin. And there's different constitutions, one for each state, one for DC, and of course the main one that keeps us out of their hands. So America is still alive. It's within each one of us, and it's the land that we own. But yeah, they're definitely encroaching on our lives, rights, freedoms, and that's why it's so important that we learn this information, because America is asleep at the wheel, and if we fall asleep and hit a tree, they're just going to push us out of the car and take the country for everything that they have. Private says, if you buy a new car, I think this was out to cash, get the MSO and don't register it, then you own it. That's true. Revolutionist, yes, correct. Yep, driving is commercial. It's for profit and for corporations. Yeah, they did screw us on the 13th Amendment in the War of 1812. There's actually still copies. I made a video on that. There's still copies out there. The problem is that if you try to present that, they're going to just ignore it. They're going to say, "Oh, no, that's a forgery. It needs to be tested. We don't know what you're talking about." But yeah, you're right. So the 13th Amendment is, none of them should be able to be in the positions that they are with that. I see some of y'all having some private conversations. I ain't gonna, we're not private, but talk amongst yourselves. All right. So we got New York. New York, the file is MV42T, or it might be MV42T.1, and it's called the License Exception Inquiry Form. All right. Looks like Georgia is the DS 577. What does MSO? Manufacturers, usually it's MSO or MCO, Manufacturer Certificate of Origin. And manufacturers, I can't think what the S one. There's two. They mean the same thing, MSO and MCO, Manufacturer Certificate of Origin. Soon they'll require license. Come to my state or other states. They basically do try to give you a ticket for skateboarding or riding your bike or whatever else without it. Like you guys don't own everything. Get out of here. All right. So it's also called the driver's license invalidation form in some areas. Skating is commercial. Laughing out loud. No, skateboarding. Budokan says manufacturer statement of origin. Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right. So Nevada is a voluntary license and ID card surrender. And they basically have like 3 that they want you to do. So do your own research, but it's either the DP-5 or the DLD-95. And then for the vehicle registration, it's the NRS 485. All right. Looks like Tennessee is the SF 0259. Can South Africans take advantage of such programs? If you're here and you're foreign, so yeah, why not? Manufacturer statement of origin. So what do I do? My insurance is charging way too much. Well, some people have asked their insurance company about right to travel. One of my people, I won't mention their names, but they got into a long story with their agent friend who said there's no such thing. He went and asked the people. They said, nope, there's no such thing at the insurance company. My guy then said, no, go talk to the legal department. Legal department said, shh, there is such a thing, but we don't want to have your client. So don't take him on, but we do have the program. So if your insurance is too high, educational information only. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying that depending on where your address is located, say for instance, an hour north of here where it's a little bit nicer, and maybe it's, and I have some friends who live out there, or I got a post office box out there. If I happen to use that address, my insurance might accidentally go down because they're not supposed to be red zoning us because you live in the city. Some companies, what was it? Contact your insurance company. Also ask them for what all things do I need. Maybe get a higher deductible. Ask them for what programs that you can get into, including Safe Driver, if they have the thing you can plug into your vehicle, or what other programs that they have that can lower my insurance. Because tell them you're thinking about canceling. So ask them to send you to the cancellation department so you can speak with a specialist. Don't just listen. Ask the agent, are you the cancellation department? And if you're like, well, but I can help you, send me to the cancellation department. I used to do this all the time for a living, in fact, and they can make you special offers that the other agents, your regular people, can't do. Yes. I like to say, well, okay, laws. The laws stand for land, air, water, and sea. Okay, that's where law comes from. And yes, constitutional law is for the land. So legal is really for the sea. Legal really means within the corporation. There's a difference between legal and lawful. We operate in lawful. Markel, go on Black Site 32. There's some files there that you can get for right to travel. And then you can use those. I also think on Black Site 32, I got some free ones, and I've got a paid version where I give you all of mine that I have on right to travel. I think it's like $50 for that, or you can just get the free ones. Ohio, we have not gotten to Ohio yet. I haven't seen anybody post Ohio yet. I just want to surrender my license, but my cop friend said they can take my property. No, that's a lie. Your property is yours. If you cancel your contracts all the way, license plate, registration, it's your property, especially if the vehicle's paid off. If you still have a lien on it, they might try to use that against you. So, but no, that's a lie. Your cop friend's a moron. They don't know what they're talking about. And I've got cop friends and family. No, they say that to scare you, because if they can't do what you can do, because they are a 14th Amendment citizen, so they can't do. And when they're addressing you as a U.S. citizen, not as a national of the United States operating under the Constitution. Trust me, I have cops. I've changed the status of cops and done this for cops who asked me how can they do this, and I was like, well, you can't do it for work, but you can do it with your private vehicle. So that cop's a moron. They don't know everything. They're not taught everything. Tell your cop friend to go to his chief of police and have a private conversation. He has to say, sir, can we talk privately? Yeah. And ask him what right to travel is and if they can do that. And he's going to find out there's a whole different thing. But they're not going to teach you this in general. It's protecting the blue line. Yes, I do know a lot of stuff about the internal stuff with cops. I've had cops in my seminars. I've had them ask me stuff and do consultations and all that. I've changed at least, I think it's 8 to 10 cops at this point in time. The last one was from New York. I've done Department of Defense, FEMA, and some other agencies. They just don't know. When they don't know, they're speaking from their heart. So they truly feel that, no, they can take your property. You can't take personal private property. It's against the Constitution. Matter of fact, I wish they would. That's for me, I have a UCC1 lien against my vehicle. That's $5 million. Go ahead. You can have it. It's probably only worth $15,000 at the best, but I'm gonna get that $5 million taking personal property, international copyright infringement, and international theft. Nah. Yeah, the MSO is the vehicle's birth certificate. Literally birth. Because birth means a vessel, okay? Being born, you were born, the vehicle and inanimate objects were birthed. Yes, many people have given the insurance they're so weird. Some of them will drop you if you do right to travel. Some of them will keep you. If they try to drop you, you got to talk to the legal department and say, if you guys drop me, this is a lawsuit because you guys offer your services to the public. I'm the public, but you have to refer to yourself as a foreign driver. Tell them that you're a foreign national and you want insurance as a foreign driver. Yeah, that Chris Hauser with the 1099 in place of insurance. Yeah, that's not my info. I can't validate what somebody else does. I could drive with this piece of paper right here with nothing on it and say it's my claim too. I've just never used that process. I have nothing against him. Seemed like a nice dude. He's talked positively about me. But that form is their form, and I personally just wouldn't. I still travel with a promissory note. A promissory note you can create yourself. That's a promise to pay in the future. Or you can go and get a bond. Look up, how to get a bond for your vehicle. And a lot of people don't know, sometimes your vehicle is actually covered underneath your homeowner's insurance because it's at your home all the time. So some of you guys are actually double paying. If not, add it on there. Okay. That's true. I wasn't going to get into all that. There's no such thing as a deductible on liability. I wasn't going to go there just But yeah, some people with the passport have actually gotten their insurance to drop, okay, because of the passport card, the number. All right. So Rick Smith said Chris Holler's in prison now. Don't follow him. I know he had done a little bit of time in there for putting fraudulent or fictitious liens, which never do that. If you put a lien on a person, which is really their corporation, or a public office or whatever, you better be sure that you have proof to validate the amount that you're putting against them, that they have damaged you. Because if not, it's fraud on you and they will bang you. So is he in there now? I don't know, but I'll be honest, I've heard good and bad about that 1099 process. You have to understand that when I talked to the IRS, they basically denounced that way of using it, but they could be lying. All I know is I go by what they say. But, you know, just be careful with anybody's processes where you're trying to get money from the government. That's where they'll bank you. That's why I told people I don't do, I haven't pulled my bonds, and I will not help anybody get theirs, because until we know how to properly go through that process, because remember, those are property of the straw man. And if you're claiming you're not the straw man and we don't know their proper paperwork to change our status with them and, you know, all that, don't do it. Okay. Oregon. All right. It's called the surrender of driving privilege, and it's under Rule 735-062-0135. All right. Also attached to that is the 735-7206 form and a 735-076-0020. All right. Wisconsin, one of the also harder states who don't want it. Now, theirs is called a temporary surrender of license, which would totally throw you way off in trying to get this done. But theirs is the MV3581. Also doesn't hurt to send a copy or a letter of cancellation to the headquarters as well. Always keep a copy of your forms for yourself. Keep one and put it in your binder. Everybody should have a car binder with your cancellation in there, your whatever, your traveling bond, your promissory note, whatever you're using, have all that in there. Don't have anything in there with your address. Okay? If you have a state ID or a state ID copy in there, don't put that information available, because your state ID number will correspond with your driver's number. They're the same thing. It lists you as a corporate entity of the state. I learned that from experience. Yes, even the Wolf years back, that's what I did. Don't do it. This is why I make the videos. I'm not like other people where I'm like, do some stuff. It should work, and then let me know. No, I'm doing this stuff first and letting you know this is where I messed up at. I don't get it right all the time. I have to go through it. I'm the kid who had to touch the fire to find out it was hot. I just know that certain things you don't touch. You know, you don't play with radiation. Stop using the microwave if you can. For real, though. All right, so California, we know is the 142, the DL 142. New York, that's a little bit harder. I don't have all the information on this one because they were squirrely. But they've got one called a taxi and limo cancellation form, or request to cancel the TLC and the driver's license. PD-7. Otherwise, you can contact the TLC compliance at tlc.nyc.gov. So I don't have a clear path on that one. I couldn't find anything that said directly, normal driver's license. Florida was also interesting. I found the RS-43 surrender of license. And then it's also called a notice to surrender a motor vehicle or a vessel. Now, I don't know if that's the same one down there. They were also, I'm just getting to Florida. Yeah, I see it now. Theirs was HSMV 82192. They also had an HSMV 82191, a cancel title under HSMV number 82137. And then it also said you can send a letter to the Department of HSMV, comma, Bureau of Motorist Compliance, comma, Division of Motorist Service. Okay. So look up the Department of HSMV, and then there's an address down there you can send it to. So people looking for their forms can find it under usually state of whatever you're in, DMV forms. If you just type that in, it'll give you their Department of Motor Vehicle, all of their forms. Now, what I did, I used a little search tool within the site. Okay. Some of the browsers have it. And I typed in, after I got to the state of Illinois DMV forms, I used a search tool on their site, and then I used a web browser site, and I typed in cancel, surrender, license exception, invalidation, cancellation, anything like that, to see if I can find the keywords and then find the files. So I'm literally showing you guys exactly how I do what I do. If your license is suspended, that does not end the contract. Nope. It just means that it's in a pending status, because then they can just reactivate you, or if they actually ever want to get rid of you, they can, but that's not out. Nope, it's not out. How would you insure? Well, go on Google and type in insurance for foreign drivers. I mean, think about it, guys. If somebody comes here from another country, they have to be able to provide all of these services. So your insurance may not like it. If you want to argue with them, ask to speak to the legal department. Otherwise, just go online and type in insurance for foreign drivers. Like I said, some insurance companies, people have told me straight up verbatim that their insurance actually went down dramatically because they asked about changing it over and using the passport number instead of their driver's license number. Now, I'm not going to say this is uniform across the way, because each state, each company does things a little bit different. I'm just telling you how to do it if you feel right to travel is for you. Until you're ready, so you've researched everything and you're ready to go out there. Remember, some police officers don't know what this is. But see, they also don't know all of the law. They know corporate law and statutes for 14th Amendment U.S. citizens, your name in all caps. They don't know the information in the free world under the Constitution. They just don't know. They're not taught this. I had a cop and she was a nice looking sister in one of my seminars, or I was main person in the seminar, speaker. And she was like, Wolf, she's like, I've looked at all the information you've talked about. I just want to let you know I'm a cop. And I thought she was going to get jazzy with me, right? I was like, all right. I was like, what you got, Miss Lady? You know, and she was like, I looked it up. She's like, you're right. She was like, but I'm just going to let you know. She's like, they don't teach us this. I was like, why would they teach you this information? How can you possibly, as a cop, write tickets against somebody who, if they're doing right to travel the proper way, are operating under their constitutional right? That's a lawsuit. We can go after you in a tort claim or federal district court or any of the higher courts. The lower courts, remember, are Article 1 courts, and they're for the corporations. Article 3 is where any person who's doing right to travel or national is going to get their case law. Case law doesn't apply to the lower courts. That's legal stuff. You need lawful stuff. Yeah, cops will always try to trick you into giving them some kind of verbal jurisdiction by asking you if you understand them. Are you a U.S. citizen? This is a motor vehicle, right? And you're driving. Is this your address with the zip code? Yeah, those are all things that they'll try to do to get you to contract verbally. Hand them your passport. Don't say anything else. Don't argue with them. Even arguing, helps them to say that you are negotiating with them. They're trying to close a deal. Don't even do it. Here you go. That's it. You got anything to say? That's it. If they're going to write a ticket, you gave them the information to write a ticket. That's all they can do. They don't have the right to pull you out of the car or do anything like that, not lawfully. And if you do have to, and if they do, don't argue, don't fight. Just go down. They'll tow your vehicle, whatever you're going to do. And then you file that lawsuit. When you get to the police station, you ask to talk to the magistrate. They can't even do anything to you, process you anything by law until they have you in front of a magistrate. And then you tell the magistrate who and what you are and what you're doing. And that and if they do anything further than this that denies you of your constitutional right, because you are not a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, that you will file tort claims against them and sue them for $2 million, deprivation of rights under color of law 241, 242. So when the cop wants to say, well, where are you born? Okay, that you're a foreign national, tell them the republic of that state and under the Constitution. And actually, you don't even have to answer them, where were you born? I don't have to tell you where I was born. I told you I'm a foreign national. That's all you need to know. Because if you say, oh, I was born in the state of, no, you weren't born in the state of. You were born in the republic of that area, or the republic of that state. But see, they don't understand the difference between the state of Florida and the Republic of Florida. Okay, so you don't have to answer. You can, well, when they ask you a question, you ask a question. Where were you born? You're a foreign national. Where were you born? Well, if I answer that question, can that information be used against me? Well, yeah. Then I do believe I have the right to not incriminate myself. You are familiar with the law, right? Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, we're not talking about the 1099s here for purchasing property. No offense, Mike, but that's not what this one's about. And I don't do that. That's Chris Hauser who does that. But as my man's over there just said, they think he's in jail right now for that stuff. So the 1099s are used for recouping some money that you've already spent with a company. Okay. I haven't seen anybody produce anything solid and go 3 years without it having that bounce back on them to prove to me that that's a safe way of doing it, the way he's doing it. I'm not saying it hasn't worked for him. I just need proof. I'm from the show me state, all right? I know that it takes them up to 3 years. You can do something like that. If they don't bother you or bank you in 3 years, then you're probably good. But I'm not trying some new process. The stuff we talk about on my channel, these aren't new processes. These are things that have been time tested and proven. Hawaii, nope, I haven't looked that one up. That's why they're hiring foreign nationals as cops. Yeah, they got their reason for hiring foreign nationals as cops. I mean, technically, we're all foreign nationals, and they're converting us into into being foreigners on our own land. Insurance companies are private businesses. They're private businesses, but they're operating in the public. I know it gets a little weird, but yeah, you can use a bond for your vehicle. Yeah. You're bonding. You can bond anything. You can put a bond against anything. Yeah, you can still get your status corrected if you have a warrant or whatever else, as long as it's not like you can't leave. They have an issue that you can't leave the country for non-injury or something. And there's ways to deal with that too, Tony. You'd have to hit me up in the private if we're going to go over some deeper stuff. Yeah, we're working on that, Marshall. If anybody has anything on Hawaii, feel free to post it. Your certificate of live birth is a letters patent. Well, we know that it's a certificate, which is a security. They put the numbers on there, QSIPs and whatever else. You will remember there's always a way to correct. See, you already have your status, whether you have a warrant or whatever else. Okay, Ramona says that Chris Hauser just did a Zoom a couple of days ago, so maybe he's not in there. I don't know. I don't. I see his stuff when it pops up, but I'm not like active on his channel like that. Steer clear of money aspects of the process. Hip hop. Yeah, I try to tell people leave. You got to understand there are agents out there who will pose as one of us and provide fake files, fake info to throw people off. And that's why you have to do your own due diligence. I tell you guys to do your own due diligence when you watch my stuff. That's real. Anybody not telling you to cross-check their own work or the work for yourself, as my mom said before she passed, all them people ain't your friend. They ain't your friends. Your little friends be the first ones to throw you on a bus or whatever else. No, we don't own the straw man. We are the surety for the straw man. We take all the responsibility, physical and financial, for it, but we don't own it. They issued it to you that all caps names as a registration, just like the registration number on a gun, on a pistol, a firearm. They own it. It's called transmutation. When they put in all uppercase lettering, they took the name your mom gave you, stretched it out, that turned it into something new, transmuting. They owned it. They then gave it to you to use and to assume all the risk. I almost said some more stuff. Grabbing ankles, that's what we've been doing since day one with these people because we don't know what's going on. Contracts are not fraudulent if there is full disclosure in their system. Once you discover the fraud, then the contract is fraudulent, but it's just good business if you are made aware of all, and I mean every single aspect, the whole chain of title of what happens in there, then it's not fraud. If they don't explain all of it to you, then it's fraud. Child support, yeah, we're not going to get in that. There's some things we could talk about in the private and the consultation that may or may not assist for educational purposes. But remember, you already have your status just by your being born in the republic of your state under the Constitution. Correct. Yeah, there's nothing to stop you from getting it. The passport will slow you down, but that's not the only way to do it. You can make your own ID. You don't even have to use the passport. Make your own ID or get one online. I got a machine over here. I'm going to eventually be making private IDs for foreign nationals at some point. I just haven't had time to sit down and figure out what all information I want to put on it. But you don't even need all that. You can do it yourself. Nothing. I haven't seen anything on Mississippi yet. New York is just ridiculous. Yeah, the capital of the world. Yeah. New York does not require a social security number for the driver's license or a state ID. Okay. Our bar courts, Don M. Well, the bar stands for the British Accreditation Registry. So right then and there, you got to ask the cop, okay, so if you give me this ticket, it then goes to court, and the court is operated by the lawyers, prosecutors, attorneys, and they're all part of the bar. And the bar stands for the British Accreditation Registry. How do they have the jurisdiction over you or me then, Mr. Officer, if they're British? Oh, but it's the American bar. Okay. So it's the American version of the British Accredited Registry that they went and got the name from to franchise here in the United States of America. Riddle me that, because they're operating in a private jurisdiction that the state of whatever is a for-profit corporation, and they're providing a service. Budokan 1 says, hit that like button. The bar courts, yeah, no, they can't care about our rights. There are no rights for 14th Amendment corporations. When you entertain that name in all capitalized letters, you're entertaining that you are a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, which is a corporation, which is their property that has licenses and benefits They don't have rights and freedoms. Only living people have rights and freedoms under the Constitution. Do you have to be private in order to surrender your license? Yeah, but you already have a private side. If you get rid of your license, then you would be operating in the private. Everybody was born privately first, and then you were made into a corporate fiction known as a straw man. They gave that to you. They wanted you to believe that that was actually you, which is then called alter ego, and then you assume all responsibility for it as the surety, but you don't own it. All right, Carissa, have a great day. Driver's license is a contract. Christ M says, I've had the pleasure of paying for Wolf's consultation. It's worth every dollar and exponentially more. He elucidates with such clarity. There is no excuse. I recommend getting consultation with him. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Can we rent a car without a driver's license? Some places will let you do it with a passport, book, or card. Some won't. Call first and ask. If they don't understand it, ask the manager. If they don't understand it, ask to speak to the legal department. They're open to the public, so they are bound to provide a way to you. If not, they are depriving you of your rights, and it's a lawsuit. Otherwise, if not that, then get the international driver's permit or go on the Federal Motor Carriers Safety Administration website and get a DOT number from them, and there you go. It is better to live on our knees and die on our feet. Facts. As a Class A driver, you can't do this in your truck, or if you're using that same truck for your personal stuff, you can't. You have to have a separate vehicle. You can use your private vehicle to your truck and then use your truck normally, but not this vehicle. But this vehicle, the private one, you can use for right to travel if you do everything else by law. Yeah. Carissa seconds Christ M. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. If they still let you get away with putting UCC 1-308 on your license and signing without prejudice, that's fire. Some states won't let you do that because they know what it is. It's funny how some of these cops will be like, oh, you know that UCC 1-308 doesn't do anything, but then you sign your ticket. Hey, you can't sign your ticket that way. Why not? If it doesn't do anything, that's how brainwashed a lot of them are, because the courts and the processors of those, see, even the ticket with your name on there becomes a security. Okay. And if you write on your ticket UCC 1-308 refused or non-negotiable on there, they can't make money on it, which the accounting people get pissed. So then they tell the cops, don't let them sign that. That stuff doesn't work. Okay, I'll listen to you. And then they go to us, acting as traitors to the country of the United States of America and the Constitution. That doesn't work, and you can't sign it that way. Okay, well, then you won't mind. It should be fine. No. Use your brains. And for those other cops out there, for the love of God, go and ask your commanding officer why you can't put the person's name on the ticket in lowercase lettering. That's it. I just give you one challenge. Just one challenge. Ask them that. And when you have that figured out, come holler at your boy if you want to know some more truisms. Okay? Or option number 2, ask the chief of police, okay, about right to travel and say, I want to speak to you in your private capacity. Can we have a private chat? You'll be surprised how many of these upper agents will talk to you. How I know these things? Let's just say I know some things. Okay. Let's see here. How She Moves says, my insurance doesn't even care. They still charge me every month without even having been registered or having a license in that state. So weird. That's what I'm saying. Everybody moves a little bit differently. Can we put the without prejudice on the SS5? Yeah, you can put it on anything you sign. They're all contracts. You can always put it that way. And the Hawaii license cancellation form. We still haven't gotten the number for that. Yeah, cops and bar attorneys are not lawyers. And that's why bar attorneys practice law, because they don't know the law. Yeah, they're operating, what is it, in law. To be in law, anytime, man, let me tell you guys this. If you see the word in, that is one of the most dangerous words you guys can ever see. Because the word in means you're in something. What am I in? Well, you're driving in the state of Hawaii. The state of Hawaii is a for-profit corporation. Think about it. When you mail a letter, okay, from Arkansas, all right, home state, okay. When you put it on the letter, do you put 555 West Blueberry Lane, Banks, comma, state of Arkansas, or do you put Arkansas on there? Separate things. But then you put the federal zip code on there, which is a benefit, and now you're in their jurisdiction. Cops have been through the best schooling. That is perception and perspective, because they get trained very well for what they do. Then how they operate with that information can then be considered questionable, because not all of them handle information and do their duties the same. I've got friends and family members who are cops, all right? Some are better than others. Some are more knowledgeable than others. You want to know who the best cops are? The best ones are the ones who work during the day shift. No offense to the night shift, but the ones during the day, they've seen the right to travel. Most of them know what it is. They are not going to bother you. It's the late night ones who are former military, former this, former that, who accept just the worst shift is at night. It's when all the BS happens. For most of the BS happens during the night. The more retired or senior ones, experienced during the day. So the new guy wants to prove himself, Billy Bad Butt, and I don't care about that. I'm a cop. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, until them lawsuits hit and you lose your house, you lose your car, you get a tort claim, and start making claims against your insurance, going after your bonds. Then it ain't so fun. But that's the stuff they don't put on TV. Yeah, never argue with them. Never argue with it. Nope, just take it. Take whatever they give you if they're going to be that way, and deal with it later on. You can't argue with them. No offense to the good ones out there, but to the ones who don't know, they're a brick. They're a brick wall. What about Nevada? Yeah, I covered Nevada. Right. Yeah, so Nevada, that form is a DP-5, voluntary license ID surrender. It's they also have reference to the DLD-95, an NRS form 485 for a vehicle registration cancel. Otherwise, remember, you just got to walk in. That's what I'm saying. That's why you see a lot of people haven't posted a lot about the states, because you can't find them online. The one lady said these are internal forms only. If you haven't gotten your passport, it's been a year. Yeah, you got. Yeah, that means that either you got some back child support or back taxes over what, 50,000, and yeah, they're just holding on to that. That's gone. That's gone. Yeah, we paid for plates we should have to bring back. Yeah, but they're their property. Their name is on it. They own that name. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, they literally own it. When you get a firearm, that's why you can't scratch off the Supreme Court, I think, just ruled on that a week ago, that you can now, education only, remove the serial numbers from firearms, because they own the term firearm. The Constitution says we have the right to bear an arm. But when you add the word fire to it, now it's a new word. They own it. So they own the driver's license. They own the actual plate. They gave you the material. If somebody's if you're not making your own something, you don't own it. Just like with a firearm. You can't. I had a buddy who he's got like over 500 or 600 some odd guns. They came and was like, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're just going to come and check and see what you got going on here. We think you got too many guns. Why can they do that when the Constitution says we have the right to bear arms? Because when you bought those things, you used your driver's license, your social, all those things done as a U.S. citizen, and they gave you the gun through one of their manufacturers license to do that with one of their registration numbers on that firearm that they own. They own the number. And anything they put the number on, they then own. And you, as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, a corporation, they want to know why you got so many. Facts. That's funny. Illinois, I don't think we have one for Illinois. You might have to look that one up. I would look it up right now, but I'm, kind of on live right now. I guess I could, but you guys can find it. If not, you got to walk into the DMV. Yeah, you can make a self-insurance affidavit, also known as a promissory note or whatever else, and keep it in your vehicle. Get into an accident, you can give that to the DMV or the insurance, and they can take it to the bank and get it monetized. And don't forget, educational information only, entertainment purposes. Your Social Security happens to be something that discharges a lot of debt. That's all I'm going to say. The New York DMV, they were a little. It was hard to find anything online, but what I was able to find was a taxi and limo cancellation under a PD-7 form. But they gave all I could find was an email for canceling, and that was under TLC compliance at tlc.nyc.gov. New York, I knew New York was going to be hard. New York, they play differently, like California, but we got California's. We've been whooping on California a little bit. Like almost 90% of my clients and people are from there. Yeah. Yeah, you can be born in the United States of America and not be a citizen. So for the one who asked about that, yeah. So a cop asks you where you're born, give him code 8 USC 1101 22B, which is what I use in my explanatory statement for the passport process. And it says all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but not all U.S. nationals are U.S. citizens. Print that, put it in your binder, and when they get to talking Jersey, you have any idea how many cops I've literally drawn the smile right off of their face, made them go pale and quiet in the police station when I have their magistrate or their chief of police or the active on duty head, whoever the head guy is at the time. They all got quiet. And you best believe your boy was talking jazzy in there. Not disrespectful, well, maybe a little, but not until they got that way with me. But I still kept myself in a self-governing, professional. It's all business. You can't take it personal. Try not to take it personal. It's business because they don't know what's going on. And though they don't mean to be traitors to the Constitution, they don't even know they are. They think they're in the right. So once again, guys, if you guys have the state, info, you've already done it or you pulled it, put it in the chat. Can I still become a national if I'm in the military? Yes. for the love of sweet baby Jesus, all of you guys need to know, if you're watching these videos, if you were born here, the moment your baby butt hit the air, you became not only a state citizen in the republic of that landmass, but because you were party to the Constitution, because of all the states, the republics joining it, you are a national of the United States. Otherwise, police refer to us as foreign nationals. You didn't become a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen until your parents either got you the birth certificate or the Social Security card and then checked off U.S. citizen. And then you use all these U.S. citizen things, including the name in all capitalized letters, which is a business trust, or also known as the straw man, in Latin known as the nom de guerre, meaning your war name. It's an entity. You then became those things. When you joined the military, you claimed that you were these things to be in that. Okay. So yeah, you're a national right now. If you have married a national, you are a national. If you have lived in any republic of the United States of America for more than 7 to 10 years, you've been naturalized. All right. Lori says she's going to get a consult. Thank you very much. The credit aspect, well, that's the thing. Credit is when you were born, you were a creditor because you can sign things with your name. Corporations can't sign things. Or excuse me, you can autograph things, and corporations sign things. So you are the creditor. So the only drawback would be is if you do this national stuff, you could convert your status with the SS5 form of your Social Security into a national, or if you move away from that, you leave it as is, you would then have to create a new credit profile and operate in the private. Otherwise, you can keep using you can use either one when you want, because that's what we've been doing already. Most of us have been just using a U.S. citizen. Isn't a driver a type of golf club? You know what? Do you need a license? In some states, you do, to drive a golf cart. Yes, I was looking up some of these state licenses for the video today, and yeah, some states you have to have a license for a cart. I got a summons for a jury duty. I can't be summoned because I'm not a demon. Well, you're not out. Yeah, you're not a dead entity. But we've talked about how to deal with that. Remember, you're a national. They ask you, well, aren't you a citizen? You're a citizen if you claim to be, and you want to use that corporation to go in there. Like a credit card, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. What about copywriting it through the new paper legal section? You have a common law copyright already on your name, but having it in the system is, to me, better because they can't argue with it then. DC is a foreign country. They're a foreign, privately owned, essentially micronation. They try to make you a U.S. citizen instead of a state citizen. Yes. Do I agree with the content produced by Yusuf L? I have, when I was privately doing this stuff, I've watched Yusuf L since probably day one. I know he's heard of me. He's liked some of my stuff and not liked some of my stuff. I'll tell you this, he's a lot more grumpy than he used to be. But yeah, shout out and respect to him. He does a good job with the info. Some stuff I differ in the perspective of it, but he does have some fire information. I don't watch him as much because I do my own research, and so I will glean a little from him and everybody else from time to time. But all we are trying to do is get you guys to start learning how to do what we do, which is to get these books and start reading and learning. We're just giving you the shortcuts, but you still have to jump on the good foot, as they say. Hey, what's going on, Thirst? Appreciate you. And we are the holders in due course, right? Yep. Depends on the scenario, but typically. Yes, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. Of the, in the, and of are some of the most powerful, simplistic words that will bang you. I'm talking about, like somebody said earlier, which is one of my favorite expressions, grab your ankles, go to your happy place, no reach around, no kiss on the back of the neck, no call the next day, no bus transfer, no change, nothing. Those words will get you, let me tell you. As far as the DUI with your son, Bison, there are ways to get him back on the road and traveling, but you have to understand this. This information is not to be used as a just get out of jail card free. You are not above the law, and if he drives under the influence and endangers public safety, even with a DOT number or right to travel, they have the right to stop you. That's what they are there for, foreign or domestic. Any authority out there, including me, if I see somebody as a what called a citizen's arrest or a constitutional national's arrest, if you're operating and possibly in a position to hurt somebody, any of us can do that. We have that right. So, but yes, if he's going to mature and self-govern, this is a way to get back out there under your rights. Auditing corpse, I'm not familiar with that. Yes, Bruce, you can do anything the government can do and mirror them. That's fact, including creating your own files and submitting your own files. Okay, what do we got here? Let's throw it up. Oh, yeah, fire. Here we go. Malik. That's the sauce right there. The DL 640, surrender, DL. This is why the wolf is bringing you that fire, that hot fire right here. Right there. We're going to leave that up for a moment. I know somebody was asking about that, so there you go. Yeah, you're not going to hear anybody promoting the private IDs. Matter of fact, the system can't. They can't. They can't promote the private ID. It's outside their jurisdiction. See, though they have power, though they have position, you have to understand that they're operating inside the sandbox like little kids or like a hydra. Okay, my hand is the body of the hydra, and my fingers, each one of this is your DMV, your this, your that, blah blah blah. Okay, they're in a sandbox. We, through Congress, allow them to operate that foreign sandbox in our backyard. Okay, so we have more power than them. We overstand them. They've got water going through their sandbox. They operate on the water. The water understands. We overstand on the land. They can't talk about anything private because they have no power there. That'd be like you guys talking about laws and things in space right now. Ain't none of y'all ever thought about that. Ain't none of y'all ever talked about space laws. Why? Because it's not in our jurisdiction. Am I going to worry about it tomorrow? Am I going to make a video on it? Nope. Same thing with them. Everything that they do is inside the corporation and it's legal. Legal means they've got the consent to do it inside their corporation. The state of whatever is no different than Nike. The only thing is Nike doesn't have police going out making sure you're wearing Nikes. Otherwise, they give you a ticket. Woo! Yeah. I'm gonna need you to step out of the car, sir. Why? You're Nike police? What? Yeah, sir. Look, don't try to resist. Get out of the car. We need to see what you're rocking right now. Oh, this guy's got a pair of Avia. His lady's got some Asics. I'm gonna have to ask you to get out of the car. Oh. You can only govern what's yours. You can only govern what's yours. Unless it's the Supreme Court, then they kind of hold the whole thing. You know, that's the actual law. How can I get you on a consult with our micro? Get you to consult with our? Just hit me up for a consultation. Oh, and I got to say this too. For the few people that got my number through internet or through a friend, if I'm not expecting your call, you're going to find out that I don't answer. All right. It's going to go to an empty voicemail, and I don't respond. I got like 3 different lines, and I use them for outgoing unless I'm expecting it. So no offense, but I've had people hit me up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, how do I fill out the passport again? What? Bro? So just, it's not going to happen. Set up a consultation and we'll take care of it there. Otherwise, watch the videos. Am I familiar, Bad Wolf, are you familiar with David Wynn Miller, correct sentence and grammar? Yeah, I think was it Miller, David Wynn Miller. I think he was from Wisconsin. And then he's got another buddy, David Wynn and whatever, something. Yeah. That's not really what we're on right now, Brian, but the quantum syntax grammar, there's merit behind it because there is a proper way that the English language is to have for its grammar and its syntax and even parse. It's true. The problem is that most places aren't going to recognize it, or they're not going to admit that there's power there. So would I use it? I wouldn't make that my only defense. I would throw it in there. I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't solely base it off of that. We haven't seen enough credibility, and the man who created and took the flag, died, and his partner is still using that stuff now. But I haven't watched all his videos lately, but I haven't seen anything where I was like, whoa, that's proof. That's fire. But there's proper ways to put together the sentence, and if it's not syntaxed properly, then it's technically void. It's possible to put that DOT number on a custom card. I would use what card they gave you. I would use it as reference. I don't know if I would rock their number with my card and me trying to claim something different. I would be a little hesitant. Anytime you're using somebody else's stuff, you're subject to their codes, rules, regulations, and statutes. That's why we refer to those police as the redcoats. Yeah, they are. They don't know. Corey says, I'm reading fruit from a poisonous tree. Yeah, Drone P says, yes, I make plates with the DOT number. I've seen people do it. My cousin on his channel, I think he kind of went down or dark on it for the most part, but he rocks his plates with the DOT number on it. So I'm not co-signing on that because that's something I haven't done. But have I seen it and do people do it? Yes. Remember, they don't have jurisdiction to pull you over because you have a foreign plate. If you have no plate, yes, because you could be a part of any, you're what do they call it, stateless. No plate means you're stateless. So you put your plate, your nation, cancel everything theirs, surrender everything, give them back everything. And then, like I said, watch all my videos on it so you know how to move if you're bothered and whatever else. What about a legal name change with the prefix? Wow. Okay. All right. You guys are getting jazzy. Let's put what about a legal name change with the prefix UCC 1-308? That is hilarious. And yes, you can also create your own church. I would shy away from the 501c3, and I would do an FBO 508c1a. More power, more freedom. Yeah, if you got your name changed to UCC 1-308, yeah, you're going to have some very pissed off auditors in the back when they're trying to monetize that instrument. Or non-negotiable, you can put that on there too. Non-negotiable more so means that you cannot, it directly means you cannot monetize this security. Your promise to appear means that you submit yourself to their jurisdiction. Yep. And appear means that by magic, you are pulled from the ether out of the black, which is why they all wear black, and into an entity And so when he's asking you to please rise, he's making the dead rise. He's showing he's got control over you as a dead entity. Dealing with Virginia is a hassle. Yeah. UCC is Vatican banking owned by London and has no effect in the United States. No. You have to understand that the title "the United States," hey, don't forget to put what state you're in, and if you can find it, what surrender of driver's license form, whatever it's called, and the actual number in the chat. I don't mind answering a couple of the regular questions, but we're more so trying to work on just this stuff with the title here. So the UCC is owned by the Unidroid. Unidroid is owned by the Vatican. Washington, D.C. is owned by the City of London, the Vatican, and Britain. The UCC has full effect in the United States, but under only the term "the United States" in one of its definitions. The United States has 3 different definitions under that word. So you can read in the same sentence or in the same paragraph "the United States," and it can mean 1, 2, or 3 different things. That's why when me and certain people had words about the code 8 USC 1101 22B, there are different definitions. 8 USC 1101 21A have different terms, and you have to look up those codes on Cornell Law EDU, where they show you the hyperlink, that there's a different definition behind those terms. If you just read the term "the United States" on paper, you don't know which one they're talking about. So in this particular case, the United States they're referring to is the corporation located in Washington, D.C., which is foreign to the United States of America, per the Supreme Court. Can you private travel in another person's vehicle? No. If they have their license, well, let me say this correctly. Yes, you can physically be in their vehicle and operate their vehicle, but you're subjecting them to whatever you do, and you are subjecting yourself to what I like to call is the mixing of jurisdictions. I also call it my poop cake theory. If you've got a cake over here, and this is the national, and the poop is the U.S. citizen, and you put some of that poop in the cake, under what jurisdiction is this cake? Good to eat or not so good to eat? Yeah, exactly. So if you mix jurisdictions in front of them, though the cop has the ability to not ticket you if he doesn't want the hassle of dealing with the Department of State, you are partially still in their jurisdiction. And if he can find anything on you, which he won't if you have just your passport on you, but if you have anything else, a state ID, you give him your address with a zip code, you're banked. He's going to write that ticket because he can. Oh, we got another bot in here. Bye-bye, bot. Pew. Wannabe G.I. Joes. Yep, they are brainwashed. Yep. Let's see. Private says, I donate monthly. Wolf, appreciate you. A man who's worth his labor. Thank you, guys. Facts. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, this is able to help me do this full time now. So I definitely appreciate you. Anarchist state of mind. Yes. Goodbye to the bots or the haters or the trolls. You know what's funny is a lot of trolls have gone away lately. And I think that's because of you guys commenting on their videos or reporting them, reporting their comments, reporting their YouTube channels and getting them shut down, which is hilarious. One guy was basically crying. And because of the fact that I show them, this is where you go and find the information. If you find the information and you can prove that that thing word for word is wrong, I'll pull down the information. I think I've pulled down 3 videos out of 785, I think we're at now, or something like that. Y'all are getting wild. Now y'all see why And it's funny because somebody was like, have you seen the plates out there with the UCC 1-308? I was like, I was the first one to do that years ago. Yeah, nobody else had done that. I was like, yeah, that means what in their world? Oh, yes, I'm using that. It was funny when the cop said, oh, that doesn't mean anything. All right, sugar. That's cool. So one of us is right and one of us is wrong. One of us thinks they're right, but they're wrong. And it ain't me. Nice. There you go. Yeah, I've been doing right to travel for almost 10 years? Somewhere in between 7 and 8 years, something like that. Yeah, we still haven't found anything on Illinois yet. Remember, and no one's come forward. So the whole thing is you have to either look up state of Illinois DMV surrender of license or cancellation of license form, or else if you can't find it, once again, these are mostly supposed to be considered in-house documents. Some places won't even let you take the document from there. They won't even let you make a copy. Yeah, that's not sneaky or tricky. Exactly. Idaho asks for a reason of cancellation. Really? Tell them moving out of state. You're moving out of their paper state and back into the real state. You don't have to put all that, but just moving out of state. No longer want the driving privilege. What else? Change of nationality. Transferring the vehicle into a private trust. I'm operating from a private trust. Any of those things will work. Yeah, there's going to be some places that they don't know what's going on. And usually what you have to do, we haven't gotten to Alaska yet. If anybody has anything on Alaska, let us know. People don't always watch all of my videos on this, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown. You should already be doing your own research on this. Type in on Google righttotravel.pdf or righttotravel.doc. Okay. This will give you a lot of the information on that. You can also go to the Supreme Court and pull down their files on right to travel and all the cases that support some of the Constitution. Before you do right to travel, you should be filling out your affidavits and letting the chief of police, the chief sheriff, the county clerk, the chief judge, the attorney general, secretary of state, the governor, and after all that, filing it with the county courthouse, okay, that on your affidavit, you're doing right to travel, blah, 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 and you authorize them to distribute this information to all of their subsidiaries, that you are in fact foreign, okay, with all of the information. If you haven't done that, I don't suggest just doing right to travel, because now you're giving them a way out, okay? What you're doing is you're telling them, hey, don't bother me when I'm doing right to travel. This is where I am. This is where I'm domiciled, not in the state of, but the Republic of. I am not a corporate entity. And then you want to put your vehicle in a private foreign trust. You can go online and make it in 5 minutes. Close all of your things, your license, your driver's license, give them the plate back, close your registration, keep a copy of that, put it in your vehicle, take a copy of that, send it to the DMV, to the headquarters. Don't just close it at the local branch, send it to the DMV. And that might be redundant. People go, sometimes you're redundant, Wolf, because I need you to hear me. If you don't do all these things, then you're going to have trouble. I've had trouble. The last person had trouble. Some people are going to travel. Some people have no problems. Okay. So we're not here to hide the things that you might get stepped on. But here's where it comes in. Then you send them your letter that, hey, you took my vehicle, you did this, you deprived me of my rights, blah, blah, blah. And you send them a fee schedule in your affidavit. Matter of fact, you should have a fee schedule in your original affidavit. But if you do get your rights violated, then you're going to go after them, not in the lower courts, but you're going to go after them in the federal district court. That's where you're going to make some money. The guy in Florida got pulled over for right to travel and won $404,000 for 15 minutes because he gave him public safety or anything like that. But you also have to not be afraid to go to the federal district court, or you go after their bonds. You may not be able to sue them as a police officer, but you can go after their bonds because that is through their insurance. You're making a claim. You're saying, hey, you've damaged me. But if you don't do these things or watch the videos to know that, then yeah, you're just going to be like, woe is me. This is what happened. And then, yeah, it sucks. I'm not taking anything away from that. I've literally watched them take my car twice away when I first started doing this. It sucks. But if I wouldn't have done those things, I wouldn't have been able to know what works and what doesn't work, and where the mistakes are and where to fix them, how to get out of the system a little bit better until you're completely out. Like one of the people in California did right to travel, followed all this stuff flawlessly. Cop pulls him over. Cop was like, why aren't you in the system? I can't find your vehicle or you. Couldn't write him a ticket. Have a nice day. Have I had some friends in New York get pulled over? Yes. One guy, numerously, and I'm not going to mention his name. And the cop goes, oh, let me see your license. Oh, I've got and he's in a CDL. Okay. Which I don't recommend. This is education. This is just a real story. Give him the passport card. Guy comes back. Well, it looks like I can't give you a ticket today, sir. Have a good day. If you're not doing anything major, they have to let you go unless they overstep your rights. Then that's when you go after them and after their bonds and in the tort claim. File an insurance claim. Call the police station and ask them if they have a blanket policy for everybody. If so, you want it because you want to make a claim. Or if they have individual ones. If they have an individual one, tell them that you need to know this person, this particular officers, blah, blah, blah. Anybody associated with it through RICO Act, you can get all their bonds and make claims. We still haven't found Alaska yet. No one has piped up with that. Sorry. Okay. So I said I used to have a TLC when doing Uber, Lyft, and VIA back in several years ago. California was the driver's license. So it's the request for cancellation or surrender of driver's license form. That's the name of it, all of that. Otherwise, you can ask them for the DL 142. What's going on, Nathaniel? Y'all really on Alaska, huh? All right. All right. Y'all want to get down like that? Let's go. Let's see what we got in Alaska then. No one piped it up. I'll take this. Man, I'm behind on the comments. Y'all, I didn't even realize I was that far back. So sorry, a number of people. I'm not going to get to all of your questions, but y'all want to see Alaska. All right, we'll do it. We'll go live. Let me just see if I can find Alaska. Alaska, surrender of driver's license form. Bang. Oh, wait. Okay. The first result says complete form 478, which is the application for Alaska driver's license permit or identification card. Oh, wait, no, that's a renewal. My bad. Hold on. They getting y'all like that. I don't see anything. They're trying to make it. Okay. Okay, let's try cancel. Division of Motor Vehicles. I'm on their site now. I'm typing in cancel and surrender. It's cancellation of a CDL. Yeah, they're hiding that. I wonder why. Apply and renewal. Okay, let's see. They got forms. Let me see if I can go into their form section. All I'm finding on theirs is request, termination of revocation, non-felony. So that's probably it for the average one. Let's just see here. No, it's not exactly it. Unless they're hiding it in that terminology. Let's see if I can go vehicle general by number. Withdrawal of parental consent. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are saying. Yeah, you guys, they're not, they ain't up in that one. That's probably an internal form then, which means you're gonna have to walk into there and ask them about, if they play stupid, then what you're gonna want to do is ask them, hey, what form do I need if I turn 80 years old and I'm unable to drive? How would you guys remove my driving privilege? Okay. And if they don't know, then have the manager come out. The state ID, yeah. In most states, if you get a state ID, you are removed. You can't have a driver's license as well. So it will pull you out of the jurisdiction. Texas. I think that was in the comments. You might have to go back and scroll through. Sorry about that. We got about 12, 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to chop it for the day. Yeah. What up, A6? What's going on, brother? What's up, Wolf from Jeffrey? What's going on? Sorry I didn't get to a lot of you guys. I'm trying to get caught up. Yeah, Joel says most people don't know the truth of Alaska. Alaska is wild. Alaska be having like 250 people missing like what is it, like a month or something crazy up there. Like it's wild. And we're not going to talk about the pyramid they found under the snow up there. We'll just leave that alone. But they got some cryptids up there, all kind of wild stuff. Somebody said aliens. What's going on, A6? You want to jump on for the last couple of minutes? But yeah, I couldn't find anything. Connecticut, we didn't get there. Yeah, you guys are going to have to, for your particular state, if you find that it is difficult to get that file, or there's something weird, or it's called something weird, you can send me that in an email, and I will make another update on this. But I think we covered the main places. And here, let's do this. I'll put the now, I'm not saying I'm going to have everybody in the live. I may or may not bring you in, because like I said, I'm only gonna run this for a little while later. So if A6 is on, he can jump in. If you know the information only for surrendering of the driver's license in your state, or what you went through, then you can click on the invite or on the link to come in. If it's not about that, then I'm just going to say, hey, this is not what we're about today. I'm going to boot you, so don't feel bad. It is what it is. So I'm going to have this open for a little bit. So we're only talking about the surrender of the driver's license right now, about your particular short story and your experience, how you got it, what the name and number of it is, and that's about it. Otherwise, we will be getting off shortly. But yeah, so you're going to have to go into your local DMV. For those who are ready to do this, you've listened to all the steps, you watched other videos, you watched the information on like Jackie Fig, and you're ready to do it, then you can go ahead and walk into the DMV and ask them. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you get to be 80 years old, they're gonna say, well, you're too old, you can't see. Make sure you have your video and your audio good. If you don't have those, I can't let you in. Joel, I can let you in, but only if it's about the DMV for your particular state. We'll do another live this week, and then we can have people in for other questions and stuff. This one right now is just for the surrender of the driver's license. Joe says that she did. Of course, if you had your own plate on there and the sheriff still gave you a ticket as education, send it back right away. You're not contracting. And then remind them of their oath of office that they are supposed to protect which hopefully you already sent your affidavit of status to the sheriffs, because the sheriffs are supposed to be operating under the Constitution and protecting us. Sometimes they don't, because they can be. So it depends. If you still have your information in their system, they're going to give you a ticket. So hopefully you've removed everything. But if they can find it, and a matter of fact, here's how you know you didn't remove everything right. Because if you removed everything right, you transferred your vehicle, you sold your vehicle or transferred it to your trust under a different name and a foreign trust, then there's nothing. Then there's nothing for them to ticket. Pull over for a private plate. Yeah. Well, then from there, they probably ran your VIN, which means your vehicle's still attached to that. If they just wrote a ticket based off of your plate, then yeah, they don't have any power there. It's not enforceable. So I would send it back, refuse, and remind them of their oath of office. Driver's license is only required in commerce. We've been using it in the non-correct fashion. Yeah, you cannot drive commercial as far as we know right now. I'm still working on the legalities of it, but you cannot do commercial driving for profit and then surrender your CDL. You can't. You have to have that to drive for commercial. We're trying to find out how you can do it privately for labor. But as far as we know right now, if you're using the streets in the United States of America, that are open to the public for profit, you're driving commercial and you have to have a CDL. Yeah. Yeah, they'll like how they threatened you with 90 days. Okay. So what I would do is I would get my cop stop letter, because one, that means the sheriff then send it down to the lower courts and they're part of the bar. Okay. It's not they. All right. Got my man A6. What'd it do?
Oh, what's good, man? Different surroundings. I'm not gonna be on long. I was just chiming in my 2 cents. See, you're talking about the driver's license, correct?
Yeah. Just that a lot of people are doing right to travel, but they haven't officially sent in the surrender of the driver's license, registration. They haven't transferred the vehicle into a private trust. Without those things, you're still in the system.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. So I think what we discovered is the main things they're using is the NIC system. And the NIC system is another one of those information databases. And what it does is it just takes information. It's a privatized network that a corporation sold to each state of. So the state of is literally nothing but a corporation. We all know that. And when they use this software, and let's say you get a driver's license or something, that driver's license is stored in the system, and that address and the social and all of that stuff is locked in the system. And it's all bonded by the driver's license itself. So even if you get a passport, and the reason why a lot of people are still getting harassed when they're not presenting a driver's license and a passport is because that system has the capability to look up the information by name and date of birth. Those 2 things. So once they put those in that system, they're able to find any old information that was attached. This is the whole reason I've been telling people to get with the general delivery movement. You can change the address in the system to general delivery. It's going to be very hard for them to bond a case without an address, because it says right on the USPS website, general delivery is for those without an address. And if you're not a legal fiction, you don't have an address. Addresses are for legal fictions. And as far as your car goes, man, you should. I mean, I thought it was like known that you should put this under the 98 number trust. You know what I mean? You put it under a foreign trust, like Wolf said, and then you basically set up another address. You can do a what is that? What is people used to use all the time? What are those internet? What is it? Online addresses, something like that. What the hell is that thing called? I don't use them.
Like a virtual address.
Virtual address. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that. Or you can use you can even use general delivery for the address. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but you know what I mean. And then when they pull the information up, they're not able to pull up the straw man because they need the straw man to bond the case. We're gonna cover that Sunday too, because I've been having a lot of people hit me up like, yo, A6, I got my passport. They gave me a ticket, or A6, they locked me up because such and such. I wouldn't provide them with a driver's license. How is that possible? I'm like, dude, you didn't follow all the steps. You got a passport, now you think you Superman. It's not that simple. It's a lot more process you have to go through. You have to do a lot more learning. So, basically removing yourself from the jurisdiction is going to be the key to have a strongest foot to stand on.
So I found that at least over here in the Midwest, they have a system called the NDR, which is the National Drivers Registry. So what they do is the states have their connection to the DMV, but the National Drivers Registry is also another one that you want to remove it from. But here's the thing. The National Drivers Registry, they won't remove it from with your request. You have to request the state request it from there. So even for me, that's actually what I'm doing, because I never knew anything about the NDR. So that is where they keep that final information. So I'm going to politely write a letter to the secretary and the governor informing them that I am formally requesting that my information be removed from the National Drivers Registry and the DMV, anything that it can be found there, and that I expect to hear back from them within 30 days. And if not, then I'm going to send them a more aggressive letter and by means of saying that, okay, well, then we're going to take some legal action because the NDR said that you guys are the only one who can request from them because you guys are the ones who uploaded it to them in the first place.
Right.
So the first letter, casual, nice, cool, calm, and collective. And the next one, well, we're going to go the legal or lawful route.
Agreed. Yeah, the NDR is the National Drivers Registry. That's actually the federal database. And what that basically is, we covered this on my channel like 3-4 months ago. The NDR actually is, so let's say, for instance, you have a driver's license in California that's suspended, right? And let's say you move to Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, rather, and you say, all right, well, I'm living here now. Let me get a driver's license. The NDR will have your information logged on the national database and suspended. That way they won't give you a driver's license somewhere else. So you can't get around, you know what I mean, any fees. It's all trickery, man. It's all it is, dude. It's all trickery. So yeah, the NDR is a good start, but I was reading on the NDR website and they basically said, you know, only thing they can really do is by the state's request, like you said. So you probably, I would suppose you had to reach out to your Secretary of State or maybe even your governor to find out if they can assist you with that.
Hey, A6, we got a couple people in the chat want to know who you are, how do they get a hold of you, what your channel is. So go ahead and spit that lit, son.
Yeah, it's A-6_grind time. A lot of people in the chat know who I am, and I do shows with Wolf all the time. Usually Finest Thing Walking is here, but I'll go live on Sundays, 9 p.m. We will be talking a little bit about that, and I'm going to show you guys an excellent example of, underneath all circumstances, standing on your square because you know you're right, and they're going to try you very hard. Now, 90% of people are going to cave if you don't know or you don't really believe in your heart of hearts that you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And they know you've been conditioned your whole entire life to think the opposite. So they're going to try their hardest to scrape off that surface to get to the core of what they want. You know what I mean? So, yep, that's pretty much it. But yeah, A-6 grind. Yep, that's it right there. A-6_grind time right on YouTube. You can drop me a subscribe and you can join the convo, man. We usually have Wolf on there in the chat. You know, he drops his 2 cents, which is always more valuable than 2 cents. A lot of good minds on there that have good information. Telegram groups is another thing too. I don't have the link for the Telegram group right now, but I'll share it tomorrow on the live stream. But yeah, it's it's always a good chat.
Yeah, I just got a note. Someone says that they might be trying to block or censor part of the stream because of mentioning, and I won't say the words right now, but so if people ain't all seeing all of it, that might be why. But we'll see what it do later.
Yes, indeed. All right, but I got a jet though, man. It's nice talking to you guys. Thank you so much for hearing me out.
All right, 6. I'm about to take off as well, so appreciate you jumping in. You can catch my man's usually every Sunday night. 9 Eastern? Yeah, I think usually he's on 9 o'clock Eastern on his channel A-6_grind time. So that's about it, guys. Hopefully everybody had a good time. Appreciate you. We're taking off. And before doing anything, rewatch this video, watch the other videos on YouTube, and do all of the steps, and we'll go from there. So, but be prepared that sometimes they will challenge you. Some people will have better experiences, good experiences, some bad. I've been in the middle. I've had some bad, I've had some good. So once again, all of this is your education and entertainment from the Bad Wolf. Individual experiences may vary. As always, do your own due diligence and research. Thank you for supporting me and the channel, and also my boy right here, A6. And you guys travel safely out there. Stay positive and healthy, and keep light in your heart. And always self-govern. All right. Remember, this is all business and commerce. So that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate you.